Ooh, I personally, I find that the orange bubbly tastes better when you kind of aerate it, when you imbibe it. As Paul Giamatti would tell you in Sideways, it's not a proper libation unless it's aerated. Not a significant source of saturated fat, trans fat, fiber, cholesterol, potassium, calcium, or iron. Calories 0, fat 0, carbohydrates 0, sugar 0, protein 0, sodium 0. It's like drinking air, man. What the hell does it have? Why is it legal for this to be the ingredient list? Carbonated water, comma, natural flavor. You can't, if it's natural flavor, why are you being so coquettish? What the hell is the natural flavor? Because the flavor is orange. It feels like it should say carbonated water, comma, orange. Peel, zest, citric acid, whatever. Like, what the hell is the natural flavor? By the way, hey, listen. How is it possible that KFC can have 12 secret herbs and spices, but also be forced to give up its ingredient list for nutritional information in order to be compliant with the FDA? It doesn't make any sense. Also, don't flatter yourself. If you have a recipe that's not that good, but you want people to be enamored with it, just call it secret. There you go. If you told people what the recipe is, they would not cook it. They would say, why would I try to make KFC at home? The chicken is 17 cents a piece at the restaurant, and nobody who respects themselves goes there. You call it a secret recipe, all of a sudden, it's got a little, what the French call a certain je ne sais quoi. I was losing it, man. I forget, Kate had me Google something because she's going to Korea soon. And you know how Google has like the people also asked section, which is like, if you had a question about how many calories are in a handful of almonds, you might also wonder what genus is an almond. Anyway, so I Googled something about Korea. In the people also asked section, question 1, what language do they speak in Korea? The answer, in case you're curious, is Korean. The second question, I kid you not, in the Google auto suggestion was, are Koreans Chinese or Japanese? It's a classic example of a false dilemma. They are Korean. It may surprise you. I don't buy it. Fund public education immediately. Oh, am I the asshole for telling my girlfriend she's not Korean enough? What the hell? It's like, is Chat GPT-3 now listening in? Obviously, all these tech companies are spying on our open microphones. Are they now concocting Am I the Asshole posts based on what they heard on the microphone? It's a new era. By the way, the rumors of React Court's death are greatly exaggerated. Am I the you-know-what? Because I do not want to swear early in the YouTube video. AITA for telling my parents that they ruined New Year's celebration after they kicked my husband out over a joke. I've been married to my second husband, Mike, for 4 years now. He's a jokester and loves to crack jokes all the time. This post is written by Mike, and you know what? From now on, let's just call him Open Mike. He especially likes to joke with my brother Ethan and his wife. Ethan used to be okay with it till he started complaining about Mike taking it too far with his jokes. Some context about Ethan. He and his wife couldn't have kids, so they adopted a boy, Joey, 2 years ago. Mike has been making silly, lighthearted jokes that involve Joey's bio parents as a way to mess with Ethan and his wife. Okay, Mike is, he's a social terrorist. That is over the line. You got to read the room. I already talked to Mike, and he 100% means no harm. The joke is that, what if he meant harm, though? The joke is like, I'm a good guy, so I can joke about stuff that's like not acceptable because I'm just joking. So fast forward to New Year's Eve, my parents hosted a big celebratory dinner and Ethan and his wife came. While we were eating dinner, Mike decided to tell a knock-knock joke to Ethan. Knock, knock, who's there? Mike replied, Joey's bio parents. Then he bursted out laughing. That's the joke? There's not even a punchline? The joke is just that your child's adopted? And that's humorous for some reason? Don't type I can't as if as if there's some humor in there. An argument ensued. and dinner was paused. My parents told Mike to leave, which I thought was too harsh. I tried to speak to them and get them to calm down. My mom insisted that Mike leave. We left and Mike was complaining the whole time about how they overreacted. What? They just kicked you out of dinner as a joke? Oh, all of a sudden you can't take a joke. I see how it is. When you say something offensive, you want everybody to just relax. When they say something offensive, your feelings get hurt. I called mom later. She told me Mike was out of line with his hurtful jokes about this touchy subject and I was wrong for defending him. She said he ruined New Year's for the family, but I told her it was her and Dad who ruined New Year's celebration for escalating the situation and kicking him out. I told her he could talk to them, but again, they were the ones who ruined New Year's. She called me delusional for this statement and hung up. We haven't talked to them for days. I tried contacting Ethan, but no response. It's a gimme. Listen, you would still probably be the asshole if the joke was funny, but there's no joke. It's probably fake, don't get me wrong. It's either fake or it's written by Mike. Let's put it that way. But like there's no joke. Knock knock, who's there? Your kid's birth parents? It's just really hurtful. It's not the statement itself is not even that hurtful. It's the fact that he thinks it's funny, thus implying like there's something to be ashamed of that you adopted a kid that makes it like 10 times more offensive. She is married to Eric Cartman. You're not wrong. Like the joke doesn't make sense. If it made sense, I might be inclined to at least be like, because we talk about it in React Court all the time. Sometimes you're like, like a very common React Court situation is, hello Sinvicta, by the way, hello. A very common React Court situation is like somebody with something that they might consider a flaw is overly critical of someone else, and then you get that little demon in your head that's like, say like, hey, maybe you should lose 30 pounds before you judge other people. And I think you can at least acknowledge like that there's some respect, some relatability at least. This one is just not even humorous. It's basically just like, I'm a jerk. So I'm going to give that a no. I'm going to give that you're the ass. There's nothing more to touch upon here. I mean, this is the easiest, am I the asshole of all time? Am I the asshole? I'm going to miss once we're out of like the 1 month window where Christmas had just happened. Because I love the ones where adults, and this is a little touchy, okay? I love the ones where adults act like Christmas is like no matter what happens, everybody has to get together for Christmas. Like, even if my dad is a war criminal who shot my fiance in the leg, hey, let's put everything aside for Christmas. We'll deal with this in January. Because, like, the holiday season, like, people have different expectations for, I mean, like, some people are crazy and they want their in-laws to, like, respect them. And some people are like, no matter how disrespected I get, you can't skip the turkey. You can't skip, or what do you eat in the U.S.? You can't skip the ham. Am I the asshole for skipping Christmas with my parents since they won't treat me like an adult? Everyone sucks, according to the flair here. I mean, I just don't, like, if your mom can be a little bit crazy, but she's still your mom. If she's like super crazy, well, that's a different story, okay? You might have to like sever or limit your relationship. But if she just doesn't want you to sleep in the same bed, you say, sorry, mom, I'm 27 years old. I'm going to sleep in the same bed as like what right now I feel like is going to be my future spouse. Also, I'm not coming to Christmas. We're spending Christmas at his parents' place this year. I don't know why you would just like blindside them on Christmas unless this is a fake post, which is always possible, or alternatively, why do so many people feel the compulsion in these posts to own their families? Like, this is not how normal people act. Like, if they're not coming to Christmas, they'll be like, sorry, I'm not coming to Christmas this year, and then you could take it from there. They don't go like, no, don't worry, I'll stay someplace else. You don't need to save me a room. And then, like, on December 25th, when they call you and are like, where are you? You're like, I'm in, Puerto Vallarta right now. It doesn't make any sense. Just talk. They stopped for a while, but there were more texts and voicemails this morning. I'm kind of liking the idea of skipping out on the drama from now on. But I miss my dad, and he's blameless in this. Am I the asshole? Yeah. Like, well, yeah. Maybe the question, the subreddit is not called, like, who is the biggest asshole? The subreddit is called, am I the asshole? And there's an implied possibility of plurality there. They're definitely all the asshole in this situation, except for the dad who's apparently blameless. I'm having trouble wrapping my head around it. Listen, lady, if you have an opinion on this earth and you post it on the internet, you're gonna get people who disagree with you. Take it from the master of getting one guide. You're getting one guide right now. Most people are gonna be like somewhere on the spectrum of like what you did was acceptable, but you're a little in the wrong or you're a little in the right. Some people are going to be like her house, her rules. Don't worry about those idiots, okay? They're on their knees for their landlord right now. They love it, okay? You don't need to worry. You don't need to base your whole edit around like insane bad faith questions, okay? I'm having trouble wrapping my head around a couple of things that keep being repeated. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're taking the stupidest comments that replied to you and then spotlighting them to strengthen your case. I know, because I do it. It feels great. How was staying at a hotel so we didn't break her rules not the adult choice? No, it is the... Well, no, listen. Here's why it's not the adult choice. It's, again, a false dilemma. The adult choice is telling your mom you're 27 years old, and if she doesn't want you and your boyfriend sleeping in the same bed, then you go stay in the hotel. You got it. The adult choice is at least standing up for yourself a little bit. Not being like 16 years old and being like, I found a loophole. Because it's not a loophole. It's just a normal course of action. Please watch the Overwatch clip. Can I tell you as well, this is a true story. When I was driving yesterday, I was behind a car. First off, people in BC will know it had 2 new driver stickers on it, which is just weird. Like it's like they're sarcastically putting them on, because if you're a new driver, you legally only have to have 1. They had 2 for some reason. It doesn't mean they're a super new driver. They had a bumper sticker that said "Boobies make me smile," and then the 2 O's in boobies were like a stylized 3D. You can probably figure it out. It had the nipples and the areolas and everything. And there were a lot of other bumper stickers on the back of the car, but the one that threw me for a loop was they just had one that was the stock Overwatch logo.
Ryan,
Yes.
I have a story to tell you.
Okay.
That was, my baby wanted to hear Baby Shark.
Yeah.
As we were going. So it was like Baby Shark. And then after Baby Shark, like CoComelon stuff.
Yeah.
After CoComelon, do you know a song played?
Okay, here we go. What does Spotify choose to play after CoComelon, Baby Shark, and then other CoComelon songs?
You would not believe it.
You'll never guess.
The title of the song was KKK Took My Baby.
What?
And I was like, this does not sound right. So I just skipped it. But I don't even know. That's a song. KKK Took My Baby.
Apparently it's by the Ramones, yeah. I don't know why that would show up after Baby Shark, though.
I was like the fastest next button that I pressed. I didn't even hear like the song start. I'm just like, no.
There is also, I've noticed, whenever I have it play CoComelon, Baby Shark, every song that it plays after that is in Spanish.
I got some Spanish.
I don't know, like there's nothing wrong with it, but like they play Baby Shark in English, and then they go straight into like Spanish happy birthday songs.
Yeah. Apparently it's a banger. But I don't think it should be in a loop with the...
It's probably not,
songs.
yeah. Well,
Unless
the algorithm makes no mistakes.
Unless it's actually for children. It's just the title.
No, it's the Ramones, so it's for teenagers.
Oh, like the...
Sorry.
AC?
No, I mean the Ramones. I got nothing against the Ramones, but I was just trying to insult them, I guess. Just trying to generate a little entertainment on the stream. +2, they love it. Anyway, where were we? Long story short. Also, while I was driving, I didn't even mention this. I got the finger for no reason. Like literally for doing a nice thing. I'm sure you have them everywhere, but we have like... So it's like 2 lanes going this way, 2 lanes coming the other way. And then there's not a stop sign or an intersection, but they have little, like the median is recessed so cars could like turn from one lane to cross onto like a residential side street. So there's no intersection. Long story short, I saw a car waiting to pass through the median and go to a residential side street. There was no one behind me, which is very rare in this city. So I slowed down I telegraphed that I was slowing down. And then this car drove across, and then he looked at me as he was going across and just held up the middle finger. And I have, to this day, it's literally one day since it happened, I have no idea why. There's nobody behind you, don't stop. It's not worth giving someone the finger. It's just a nice thing to do. It's just extend a little common courtesy, you know? I give up my right of way from time to time. Like if I'm at a stop light, like let's say we're in a long chain of cars at a red light and someone's trying to exit like a store or a mall, I'll keep my brakes on an extra 5-6 seconds to let him out of the shop parking lot. That's no problem. That's different. Well, I guess from now on I'm just sorry. You reap what you fucking sow. From now on I'm gonna cut him off and then I'm gonna give him the damn finger. Fuck you for trying to exit Shoppers Drug Mart at this exact moment, dickhead. If you wanted to exit the parking lot, you should have thought of that before you went into the parking lot. Sowing. Yes, reaping. No, what the hell? There's good comments on this one, at least. I'm sure. Everybody sucks here. Your mom is horribly controlling. That's not in question. But instead of saying I won't be spending Christmas with you this year, I'm going, pardon me, to the in-laws. And if I come to you again, we will stay in a hotel. You lied in such a way that they thought you'd be attending. Instead of acting in the adult manner in which you want to be treated, you behaved like a child. True. Edit. Well, now this kicked off. Thank you for the awards. It does have 35,000 likes. Clearly a mixed bag of responses. Just a little clarification. A lie of omission is still a lie. If you're dealing with a narcissist, it is all the more important to stake your boundary clearly and stick to it. Otherwise, you will leave yourself open to their abusive tactics and flying monkeys. I don't know if I'm online enough to understand what that is. That might be a thing, for all I know. Anyway, and for everyone that told me to F off or similar, Merry Christmas to you too. The best revenge is living well. She won't be in a hotel next year either. She'll be at the parents' house, sleeping in the same bed as the boyfriend because she fought correctly and defeated her family this year, not the asshole. Okay, you're a crazy person. You're insane. Life must be very stressful when you consider every interaction a battle. Flying monkeys are people who side with the narcissist. You know what? I was dismissive of the phrasing at first, but it actually makes perfect sense. What an apt metaphor. Fair enough. Is there a reason you didn't tell them up front that you would be spending Christmas with your boyfriend's family? They're assholes for trying to control you, but I don't really see what you gain by misleading them. To avoid weeks of my mom trying to manipulate me into going home. How did that work out for you? It's like I could have dealt with it in advance. Instead, I basically saw like a train wreck coming and decided, rather than turn on the warning lights and hit the brakes, speed up. Like, I'm not saying your parents can't manipulate you when you're like an adult. I don't think that's fair. But like, I don't know, just forehead, like, don't get manipulated. I don't know. I'm sorry. It's not fair at all. It's very dismissive. Am I the asshole for leaving my in-laws' Christmas dinner after I found out they didn't make accommodations for me? Oh, dude, it's a picky eater post. I got invited to my fiance's family's Christmas dinner. It's my first Christmas with them. I have always been picky about what I eat. Can't help it. Okay, I'm taking you at face value there. Has to do with psychological factors, childhood, and personal likes and dislikes. Before accepting their invite, I let my future mother-in-law... You ever notice how future mother-in-law acronym is just MILF, but in pig Latin? Oh, sorry, I can't come to the phone right now. I'm watching Famille Anorme on LCT. I don't know why you would pick up the phone to tell someone you're watching a TV show, but I wanted to loop MILF Manor in there somehow. Hey, Rex Mechanica, thanks for the gifted subscriptions. Thank you. Before I accepted the invite, I let my future mother-in-law know I wouldn't be eating any traditional food at the celebration and showed her a variety of dishes to choose from to accommodate me. Listen, okay, I am making my own headcanon here, but did you really go to your future mother-in-law and like show her a picture of French fries, chicken nuggets, cheese pizza, hot dogs, because and just picture your future mother-in-law being like, yes, I'm familiar with macaroni and cheese, I'm familiar with fish and chips, I'm familiar with all of it, I promise you. Maybe that's not the case, okay, but that's the way it. I'm familiar with bread, but not whole wheat bread, because that's weird. Like, my fiance agreed I should bring my own dish, but I didn't. When we arrived there and I saw that no accommodations were made, I got up, got my things, and walked out and went home. My future mother-in-law and fiance were shocked that an adult that seemed otherwise reasonable would throw a temper tantrum like a little kid. I got tons of calls and texts from them both, and my fiance came home lashing out, calling me selfish and spoiled to walk out like that over a dish that his mom didn't have to make for me, and that it was my responsibility to feed myself. How is it my responsibility to feed myself when I'm a guest? I'm a guest. Didn't you read the guest handbook? The guest handbook says the whatever the guest wants, the guest gets. Now he's continually saying, I fricked up and should have sucked it up for the family's sake. Edit to clear a few points. A lot of people eating my ass in the quote retweets right now aren't familiar with the specifics of the case that make it appear more reasonable for me because I didn't write them in the first place. For those saying I have no respect for my in-laws, I do! Especially my future mother-in-law. I respect her, but this is so far the biggest conflict we've had. In theory, I respect her. By way of my actions, I could see how you would be confused, but I work long hours, even on holidays, so not much time to cook. We actually, and I hate to say this, there is info required here. Does she only eat like masala dosa or something like that? That, you know, a 16-hour preparation? Is there? Does she only eat reverse seared, sous vide beef tenderloin? Like, because if you were at the Christmas, then you have enough time to cook something. Like, you could eat anything. And maybe it's not chicken nuggets, but even like Rachel Ray, 30 minutes or less, you know, you could. I refuse to believe this shit. Because if you don't have the time on Christmas, how do you have time at all? You don't, because you're lying a little bit. Or you could have just gone through a drive-through on the way or something. Like, I wasn't asking for an elaborate dish or several dishes, just one simple option. I wasn't asking for anything complicated that would have taken a long time to cook. That being said, I don't have time to cook it, okay? Because I'm busy, unlike her. I don't see what she's doing all the time, so she's probably just watching TV. How many variations of this story do you plan to post? Before the holiday, you posted after being told they weren't going to make a different meal and how you thought it was nuts. Everyone told you to bring your own food, and now you didn't and made a scene. You're the asshole. Dude, that's so funny. Imagine. So that makes me think this is more real now. Imagine making a post that's like, hey, my fiance and her mother, or his mother, think that I should bring my own food. So already, you should bring your own food, probably. But then you ask Reddit, and everyone's like, you should bring your own food. And then you're like, nah, I'm not gonna. And then posting it again, and everyone's telling you you should have brought your own food. It's crazy. You're the asshole, wholly entitled. You'll be single soon enough. You don't know that, okay? I understand that, like, it feels good to type it. You don't know that. They could in all other ways be an ideal partner and just be, like, insanely crazy about this one specific thing. So this happened yesterday. I came home from work in the evening and saw something cooking on the stove. I asked my boyfriend, and he was boiling salmon. I was taken aback, like, completely. I asked him to repeat what he said. Could you repeat that? And he so casually said it again. I was like, ew, who boils salmon? He made a face and didn't reply. I told him it wasn't right, and that I never heard of salmon being boiled like egg in water type of boiling. Not any other kind of trendy style of boiling that you might have been considering. I'm talking about like when you heat water up to the point that large bubbles are starting to breach the surface, and then you submerge the food in the water until it's cooked by the temperature of the liquid. I don't know what you guys were thinking of when I said boiling 20 times, but it's like when you put like an egg in water type boiling. He said it was all right, and he likes it cooked that way. I called him dumb for this, which he reacted by snapping and saying, "Who the F says I can't boil salmon?" I said, common sense. He replied, frick common sense. I bet it's no longer common sense to eat an apple from the apple tree in this time and age. What the fuck are you talking about? What is this, the most incoherent argument of all time? Like, I'm not saying that he did anything wrong. It's just like, what does that mean? It's probably not common sense to eat an apple from the apple tree in this time and age. We had an argument and he started ignoring me, saying he felt hurt and disrespected when I called him dumb and is now waiting for an apology. Am I the asshole? I mean, yeah. Your ass literally like walked in from being out and started a fight in like 2 minutes for no reason because he's boiling salmon that you're not even going to eat. Who cares? I don't understand. Like, I wouldn't, it's not my preferred way to eat salmon. It just makes you look like a kind of a dickhead. That you're like, oh, I'm home from such a stressful day of work, you dumb idiot, boiling salmon. Shit for brains. Like, what, you couldn't say like, hey, how was your day? Oh, yeah, he's such an asshole. Oh, yeah. You're okay, though? All right, well, listen, I didn't know when you were going to be home, so I'm boiling a salmon, but you could just, there's leftovers in the fridge if you want. It's just, I love, fuck common sense. I bet it's no longer common sense to eat an apple from an apple tree in this time and age. What does that even mean? What does that even mean? I don't understand. Am I the asshole for walking away from my wife and kids in Costco? Okay, the jury says yes on this one, just for the record. My low one saw the yogurt drinks and raised her hand as in asking for some, to which my wife said she was going to take one out and give it to her. My son saw this and asked for one too, which my wife proceeded to do. As of right now, I am on the side of the husband. This is not an enormous social faux pas. But you should, in my personal opinion, you should not teach your kids the habit of eating and drinking food in the grocery store that they have not paid for yet. It's not horrible, like I've seen people do it. And there probably like 3 times in my life, I have been so thirsty that I would like get a drink and drink it in the store and put the can on the conveyor belt and be like, I drank that while I was shopping. But that's literally like a once a decade sort of thing. You're going to pay for it? What's the difference? I wish I had a better reason for it, but it's just not done, okay? It's just not something we do. It feels wrong. You're right, it doesn't feel right. There's nothing really wrong with it. It's just like, I wouldn't want my kids to get in the habit of doing it and then think like it's a normal thing that people do in society. It's actually illegal. Yeah, but like, not like I understand you could be like, you drink it and then you go to pay for it and your card gets declined or something like that. And you're like, oh no, I stole like that, water bottle or whatever. But like, I don't know how it is in the rest of the world right now, but people are just walking into stores and like grabbing shit and then like walking out and nobody's stopping them. So if that happened to me, like a 1 in 10,000 chance that happened to me, I would probably just be like, can I just come back in like 15 minutes and bring you the $1.75 or whatever? And if they didn't let me, I would get a human rights lawyer on the phone so fucking fast your head would be spinning. I would drown you in paperwork. From the ACLU. We probably have an ACLU in Canada. I don't know who it is. It's probably called like the Lord's Tribunal for Human Rights or something. Canadian Civil Liberties Association. Why does that sound so much stupider? Probably because it's the first time I've ever heard of it. Anyway. So listen, I'm sure you can't abandon your family in Costco because of this, but I can at least see why he would be upset. At least that should be the end of it, at least. Now we're at home and she was acting rude to me and just told me she thinks I don't care about her at all and I treat her like crap. All on the base of what happened earlier. Maybe some on the base of what happened earlier. So am I the asshole for doing what I did even though I gave her fair warning? Couple of reasons why I think I was in the right to do what I did. As far as I know, it's illegal to open merchandise without paying. Listen, you fucking narc. Is it illegal? Yeah, it's probably like illegal. Speeding is illegal too, and like literally 99% of drivers do it every day, okay? There's a scale of illegality. And if this is actually, I don't know if, listen, if this is illegal, it's like the least illegal thing in the world. Drinking a drink that you haven't paid for yet, but are going to pay for within the next like 15 minutes. So is jaywalking. Okay, but listen, people aren't going to like this, but jaywalking is worse, not because it's like more offensive, but because it at least introduces a greater chance of injury. Like, no one's going to get hit by a car because they were drinking a drink they haven't paid for yet in the Costco. But someone jaywalking could either, like, get hit by a car or, you know, cause the car to have to slam on the brakes and get rear-ended or something like that. Like, drinking the drink in the Costco that you're going to pay for afterwards is a victimless crime. Atriot got arrested for it? I hope that he hired the ACLU, man. I guess they're a non-profit, but, like, I feel like it's a genuine, like, human rights issue. That you're drinking an iced tea in the store, somebody puts you in handcuffs? That somebody restrains you like you're a threat to society? Oh, he left without paying. Oh, well, okay, look. I also don't think you should, I don't know that much about the legal system. That is like stealing, even if it is an accident. I still don't think they should arrest you for stealing a drink. I mean, you're a store, they're just like a guy. I'm sure I've stolen things accidentally from the grocery store all the time. You know, you go through the grocery store checkout, you forget you got like a 6-pack of soda on the bottom of your cart or something like that. You get down to your car, you're like, I can't go back in now, they'll arrest me. So you just get in your car, you drive home, you never go to the grocery store again without a disguise. It's called breakage, it's built into the system. That being said, I think it's just socially not, like, if I saw and this is just me being honest and you can disagree. If I saw like it's complicated. I was going to say if I saw like a family in the grocery store and they were like eating out of an open potato chip, like family-sized potato chip bag, I would be like, ooh, I feel bad for the kids because their parents aren't raising them right. But then, like, when I was out with my daughter this weekend, I got her a croissant at the grocery store. And then we went to another store. She was just chowing down on that croissant in the grocery store, or in the other store. But I mean, the other store didn't sell croissants. But it also seems crazy that that would be a reason why it's acceptable if it's not acceptable in another. Like, it's okay to buy a croissant and then eat it inside of the Best Buy or whatever. But if she was like looking at an iPad inside of the Best Buy, that wouldn't be okay. You know what my philosophy is now? And maybe I'm coming around on that. He's definitely the asshole here. My new philosophy for the past couple of years, I used to be like, oh, like you walk into a store, you have like a half-open drink. You like look at the security guard when you go in and you go, I brought this from outside. And they go, who fucking cares? Like, I'm here to make sure that there's no riots. I'm here to make sure nobody walks out with like a flat screen and not trying to stop like 75 cents worth of iced tea from getting lifted. Now, I just let it ride, and I know I've said this a few times. I welcome the day. I fantasize about the day when they're like, sir, and then I'm like, I bought this at Save On. I bought this at Save On. And then they put me in cuffs, and I'm like, you guys are going to regret this. Oh, you are going to. Just give me one free hand so I can open up my online banking app and show you. Look at that receipt. you guys, I hope you enjoyed this because this is the last day you're ever going to experience peace at this business. I'm going to put the whole system on trial. Yeah, I would say it's definitely like a little crazy, but like it keeps me going. Just, shopping is mundane. Sometimes you have a little fantasy of getting arrested by a security guard and then proving that you actually legally did pay for this in a different store, and then like, suing the business for like, I don't know. We don't have to put a number on it because it makes it too real. Maybe like $10 million. So you think your wife is trashy and embarrassing? No! The action she took was trashy and embarrassing. That doesn't mean she's trashy and embarrassing. I'm not trashy. I do some trashy things now and then. I drink my coffee on the toilet every morning just to save time. I'm not a trashy person. I'm fairly buttoned up. I have a couple trashy habits, I guess. People aren't just like 100% refined or 100% undignified. There's shades of gray. I have a 2 and a 4-year-old, and I'll tell you how we handle this. My wife goes alone to Costco during the 2-year-old's nap, so we don't all have to go into a hellscape of chaos and big feelings and overstimulation together, and she brings me back a hot dog. You're the asshole for not being more like my amazing wife. This is like the heavy, remember that post from one of the best tweets of 2022, which was like, my amazing wife just got back from a 12-hour shift as an emergency room nurse, and now she's shoveling the snow. And then it was like a picture of him drinking coffee while looking at his wife shovel in the snow at 5 a.m. or something like that. Bro, you didn't do anything. Also, what's wrong with you? I don't have a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old. I have a 2-year-old. I'll take her ass to Costco. It's no big deal. She likes it. That's what you do. Like, when she was a baby, it was different. Like when she couldn't walk on her own, but now she loves going on errands and stuff. You know why you take your fucking 2-year-old into Costco is because one day they're like not gonna be 2. You might as well have them realize it's a normal. What are you talking about? It's a hellscape of chaos and big feelings. I get that she's a kid, so like it's a much bigger event for her to go to Costco than you. But like, I don't understand. Why are you making it sound like such a big deal? Also, like, no. Okay, now I'm becoming the Redditor. I'm going like too far. So your ass is just at home, probably playing Xbox while your kids nap. She's going to Costco alone, and you think you're both helping? Like, why are you adding like a superiority complex for this other guy? At least this other guy is fucking pushing the sled. He's at the Costco with his wife and kids. But I also don't understand, why can't you just go? Why you don't have to go to the grocery store with your kids every time. You could divide the labor, big deal. But like at the same time, why not just normalize going to the grocery store with your children? Why are you making it sound like you're dropping the one ring into the fires of Mount Doom? It's the grocery. Literally, like millions of people do exactly the same thing or worse every day. Everybody sucks here. Perhaps the kids don't take no easily because they're not told no in situations where they should be, like at Costco. Excuse me, Costco is all about saying yes. It's one of the most yes stores on the planet. Every time you pass through an aisle, somebody says, would you like free food? All you have to say is yes. That's it. This is, if there's a single grocery store where it should be normalized to not say no, it's probably Costco. Your wife shouldn't have done that, especially if it made you that uncomfortable. And you shouldn't have just taken off. They're your kids too. If they're really that difficult, you get to stay and help manage them. I'm not saying it would have been the end of the world to let the kids eat at Costco. The point is they clearly don't hear no often enough. The point is, based on this one story, I think they're bad parents. Also, mother of 3 here, so you can't criticize me, even if this is truly insane. I don't understand the mentality that he's an ass, because I'm the opposite. I hate when people do this, because how do you know you'll be able to pay for it? Even if you have money in your account, I've had issues with bank cards not working and having to leave the store empty-handed to go call my bank and deal with them. Not to mention, I think it's stealing and just plain wrong to do, because there's no guarantee that you will pay for it. I've worked in Walmart, and I've seen so many packs of things opened or only one taken out of it. I feel until you have scanned and paid, it shouldn't be open, but that's my opinion. The thing I think maybe you could be an ass for is leaving her in the middle of the store. Okay, good, strong reading comprehension. I would agree with that assessment. He might be considered an asshole for leaving his family in the middle of a Costco. I have very bad social anxiety. So when my mom has done things like this, I leave as well so I can understand not wanting to be around when it's happening. And for the people talking about kids and being hungry while shopping, that's why you feed them before you go out. I would just feed them for listen, just a little too. It's like, I also have this problem and it's unsolvable, but here's how I would solve it. I would simply feed my children before they go out. I would make sure they've had proper nutrition 24 hours a day. Why wouldn't you just feed them, forehead? I don't understand. Well, why don't you just do your homework? Or bring your own snacks with you. But then what if you bring your own snacks? And they're eating. Like, this is why there's humor in this situation. I just can't figure out how to tease it out. Like, it's inside of the geode, but I can't crack through the exterior. Why is it so much worse to eat goldfish that you picked up inside of the store than it is to bring your own goldfish from home and then eat them inside of a store that sells goldfish? Because if part of the thing is people are going to look at you and judge you, they're going to look at you anyway. When you should pick it up on the store shelf, and then if someone looks at you, go, "Don't worry, we brought these from home," even if you didn't. And then just hope that you don't have to exit the store empty-handed and then call your bank afterwards. Also, I might be crazy. I feel like if you bought under $50 of food at Costco and your card got declined 3 times at the register, don't quote me on this, okay? I feel like they might just let you have it, just to keep the throughput going. Now, they might not, but like the metaphor, the comparison that I'm thinking of is like when you're in the McDonald's drive-thru, this is very Canadian, but they put the Interact machine out on a hockey stick, and then you tap. As soon as you tap, they say proceed to the next window. They don't say wait for approved, declined, whatever. As soon as the beep comes out, they're like, get the hell out of here. So I feel like they're basically like, if it gets declined, we'll eat the $10 cost, because what are we going to have you do? We can't have you back. There's 17 cars behind you in the drive-thru. You know, we all get evaluated based on our efficiency. Like it should be like you order and then 3 seconds later the food is in your hands, right? So I think they just eat it. I bet that like 1 in 50 orders transactions gets declined, and they eat it. That's my expectation, at least. No, they don't. I don't know, because like honestly, just in general, I would say I get declined 1 in 50 times. And then like they go, "Oh, our machine's a little busted," even though it might not be. And then I just tap again and it's like approved. It happens all the time. That's so much. I don't know. It's like half bad machines and half bad internet. And then the third half is like sometimes Visa is like, wait a minute, he's making a $4 purchase at a grocery store he goes to 4 times a week. That's probably fraud. And then you tap it again and they're like, never mind. The thief would not try twice. Like, there's some kind of AI like fraud detection going on that hits false positives all the time. Yeah, dude, don't even give it. It used to be like every time I went to the US, I would like, I knew it would happen. I would like tap my card or do like chip and pin at a grocery store, and then it would be declined, and I would be like, okay, sorry. And then I would go call my bank, and then I would come back into the grocery store and buy the food that I was going to buy. Like they're just like, so, hey, listen, hey, excuse me, Mr. Letourneau, this is a very serious issue. Do you recognize this $6.04 transaction at Whole Foods Bellingham? Yes, that's me trying to buy 2 apples. All right. How about these $700? These $700 in iTunes Apple gift cards. Those are legit, right? No, I've never heard of those before in my life. Okay, sir, have a nice day, whatever you say. Anyway, where were we on this one? As someone who works in retail, I can say we all judge you, and it's always annoying when people do this. Not the asshole. OP's right to feel embarrassed. Okay, we're learning people have different opinions, okay? Which is fine. But here's the thing. I also feel like if you work in retail, like I would be judging everybody. It wouldn't even be like, oh, they're eating in the store. You could just be like a normal person. I'd probably be like so bored. I would be judging your ass for nothing. And it would be my fault. I would just be looking fucking, wow, nice shoes. Idiot. Oh, did you find everything you're looking for today, sir? Have a nice day. You too. You too. Fucking idiot. Stupid shoes. Look at his damn shoes. Walking like an asshole. Coming into my store buying 2 cantaloupes. What are you doing there, Mr. Cantaloupe? So, like, I feel like, at least for some people, no matter what you do, you're going to get a little judged. Can't live your life just trying to be free of judgment. Anyway, I don't know. This just seems... The issue doesn't seem like you abandoning your family in Costco. The issue seems like what led for you to be so frustrated with this one issue that you abandon your family. It seems like you have like some unresolved issues at home that it would be well served for you to handle before it leads to it. Because I don't think reasonable people are like, one disagreement, they're like, my ass is gone. He wasn't so upset that he had to leave. He told her if they did it, he would leave, so he did what he said he'd do. Yeah, but like you can't do that when you have kids. Like that's you forfeit the right to have the ultimatum. You can't just be like, "Oh, if you throw your plate on the ground, daddy's going to like abandon the family. Oh, you did it. I don't have my hands are tied." Like that's why you don't issue the ultimatum to begin with cuz like there's only 2 options. You don't follow through on the ultimatum because the following through would make you the world's biggest asshole. And then your ultimatum looks weak and you lose, like, some authority. Or you follow through and you're just like an enormous scumbag. OMG, my dad did that. I can't. No, he didn't, probably. He just walked an aisle away. Like, to me, it's honestly, like, even worse that he just walked an aisle away. Because it's like he wanted to exercise some power. And he was like, I'll turn both keys on the nuclear football. Don't test me. And then she was like, do it, motherfucker. And then he's like, I'm going to the egg section. I'm leaving the cheese section and going to the egg section. Like, it's just such a... Like, it's just an aisle away. But at the same time, the fact that it's just an aisle away is, like, even more pathetic in some aspect, Like, if he had left, it would have been crazier. Like, if he'd gone into the parking lot, it would have been crazier, but in some ways I would have respected him more because he at least stuck with his guns. Update. Hold on, where's the original post here? Maybe it'll be better with just the update. Update, no longer cooking for my girlfriend. This is a rare post. It's not even an am I the asshole. Wednesday, after I served the plates, my girlfriend said she didn't want pasta and was going to make a salad. I was pretty sure she was going to do this, and it didn't bother me. Pause champ. I am pause champing. I waited for her to come back to start eating, and when she sat down, I tried to talk to her about her day. She asked if I was trying to make a point. I asked what point. She asked if I cared that she wasn't going to eat what I made. I said I didn't and would have it for lunch. She got frustrated, focused on her salad, and wouldn't engage with me. After dinner, I said we shouldn't make dinner for each other anymore. She asked why I thought that. I said it's clear she gets upset when she makes food for someone and they don't eat it. It would be better for us to make separate meals so we each know what we will get, that we will get what we want and no one's feelings will be hurt. She said it wasn't okay for me to make a unilateral decision about our relationship. I said I wasn't, but I didn't want to cook for her anymore or have her cook for me if she's just going to get upset. We kind of went round and round on it until the conversation petered out. She texted me at work Thursday that she was going to make salmon. I decided that if she tried to cook for me, I would just let her so she'd feel like she won one over on me and we'd draw a line under this. She ended up making salmon only for herself, which I was quite surprised by because I was expecting her to try to convince me to have some. I made a quick omelet and sat down with her. She asked if I was upset she didn't cook for me, and I said no, even though I was. Again, she accused me of making a point. She asked if I was going to cook for her on Friday. I said no. She was put out. Friday, she was upset. I only made enough curry for one person and called me greedy. At this point, I'm over it all, so I just ignored her. What are you talking about? What is going on, man? This fight lasted like a whole week? Also, who makes curry for one? It's built for bulk cooking. I'm not saying anything's like... I don't think anybody's in the right on this one, but it does seem a little bit like a shot across the bow to make curry for one. It's like, oh, hey, for dinner tonight, I'm making chili. Oh, yum. Nope, just for me. I'm making a single bowl of chili. I gotta read the original post. How does it get to that point? It is crazy. They must be in love. Yesterday, I went ice skating with my girlfriend. Tuesday is one of her days for dinner, so she made chicken salad. When I saw the chicken salad, I admit I made a face. She was like, what? What's the problem? I said we were outside in the cold all afternoon, and I wasn't really in the mood for cold food. Bro. That's so funny. I don't understand. Aren't you in like a warm house? I bet if you offered his ass some ice cream, he would be like, yeah, sure. I said we were outside in the cold all afternoon. I wasn't in the mood for cold food. She said we're inside. The heat is set to 74. What the hell? They're in a damn, it's like they're in the boiler room right now. You trying to close a deal on a used car sale? 74. We're both wearing warm, dry clothes, so it was plenty warm enough to eat salad. I said, sure, I just wanted something warm to heat me up on the inside. She said that's ridiculous because my internal temperature is in the 90s and my insides are plenty hot. At this point, we were going around in circles because I couldn't argue with her biological, factual case. So I said I was just going to heat up some soup and told her to go ahead and start eating because I'd be back in a few minutes. When I came out of the kitchen with my soup, she was clearly upset. She asked how I would feel if she refused to eat what I made tomorrow, which is today. I said I won't care. She said that was BS because it's rude to turn your nose up at something someone made for you. Am I the asshole for not wanting cold salad after being cold all day? You're just an insane individual. Nasty ass chicken salad. It's just like... Probably once every React Court I say this, but there's some truth to it. Like, isn't life hard enough to not manufacture problems? Like, sometimes in your life, you will... I get it when you're a little kid and your mom makes roast beef once a week and you don't like roast beef. You're like, I can't wait till I'm older and I can just eat what I want every day and never have to eat roast beef again. Well, two things. First off, when you get older, you're going to like roast beef. I don't know what it is, okay? But the older you get, the more you actually derive enjoyment from food that doesn't taste that good. It starts to taste good for you for whatever reason. When I was a kid, my grandma would make roast beef all the time. I was like, I hate this. She even made gravies and sauces and stuff to put on top of it. I would kill for that roast beef now. Ain't nobody serving roast beef now. I don't know. You got to go to like an Applebee's or something? I guess I could make it at home, but it's not the same. Regardless. The other thing is, when you get older, you realize not every dinner is a sacred ceremony where daddy's special boy or girl gets to eat their favorite food. Some dinners are better than others. Some dinners you get to eat exactly what you want. Some dinners you compromise. You eat something that someone else wants. And you're not going to die if you eat room temperature. I don't know if I guess chicken salad is not room temperature. I don't really know. I guess you'd probably mix it and keep it in the fridge so it would be slightly cool, but like it just seems like you don't need I mean, I guess I'm beating around the bush, which is that just because your ass was in the cold all day doesn't mean you need to eat hot food to warm up. Also, your ass didn't have to cook, so just eat the food. Like, it would be different if she made you fucking, like boiled shit or something like that. But that's the way that the dinner rotation works. If you want to eat what you want to eat, you can cook dinner every night. Otherwise, if you're alternating every night, then you cook the shit. You decide what to eat on your night, and she probably goes, yum, even though she wishes she was eating chicken salad. And then when it's chicken salad night, you eat the chicken salad and you say, thanks for cooking. It's the easiest, relationship QTE you're ever going to have in your life. And then look at it, it's turned into like a 10-day fight. It's the rare, honest title. Because yes, you are that is what you wanted, and it does make you the asshole. You sound so, this is their comments, you sound so heartless. Actually, 62 beats per minute. I don't know why you're copping so much heat on here. You simply sound logical. Their reply, it's because some people are scared of other people not thinking exactly like them. It's okay. Doesn't bother me. You made the post, moron. Obviously it bothers you. If it didn't bother you, you would have kept that shit to yourself. You were looking for validation from the internet, you 12-year-old. And you made an update. You made 2 posts about this non-issue. Am I the asshole for wanting hot food? Fuck you. I'm sorry, it's too far, too far. I'm joking. Can I just... Okay, so 2 working parents, I got it. My wife cooks all the time because she's much better at cooking than I am. I cook sometimes. Dang, it's so unfair how women are just genetically better at cooking than men are. Women don't... Listen, you motherfucker! He's just describing their home situation. He didn't say all women should cook more than me because I'm a man. He said his wife is a better cook and maybe she likes cooking, she cooks more. This is just crazy. This has 23,000 upvotes. Also, she works at a bakery. She's not... I know we went through this last week. It wasn't even a React court. I can't remember. When I said if my wife was a janitor, I'd make her take out the garbage because she's so good at it. And then people were like, boo. Even though it's true. But if she works at a bakery, she's probably good at cooking. So, you know, why isn't... Sure, you play to your strengths at home. I take out the garbage, I have more muscle mass in my upper body. So when this shit weighs fucking 300 pounds in one bag because we cleaned out the fridge, my ass automatically is on the hook. You play to your strengths. If my wife was an accountant, I would expect her to handle our taxes, sure. I wouldn't expect her to be like, you know, oh, I do taxes all day. Why don't you do them? I'd be like, is this shit serious, honey? Edit. For everyone saying what I wrote was sexist, it's a statistical fact that women are responsible for 75% of unpaid domestic labor worldwide. But he's not the world, though. He's just the guy. I'm like, what? I don't understand how that applies to the situation. Also, you could probably make an assumption that he's not, you know, helping out and that around the house. I guess he did say she does most of the chores. All right, you know what? Never mind. Roast him. Get his ass. Also, yeah, who cares about worldwide? No disrespect. This shit is in England. They're making toasties. It might be 80% in England for all I know. My bias is that it's probably lower than 75, but I guess what do I know? My appreciation for people who take the time to create these beautiful comment treatises with quotes from the original post and beautiful snarky responses for each terrible piece is truly infinite. That is, I don't even know what that emotion is. You have made my morning a bit brighter, smiling emoji. Thank you. It's my superpower. Ungaslighting the world, one comment at a time. Holy yuck. Gaslighting isn't real. You're crazy. Thanks. I was beginning to think that. I almost downvoted you, you beautiful scoundrel. Holy cow. Just a bunch of people making stuff up to feel superior. Like, the dude made a mistake. He's not like emblematic of every problem on planet Earth. He's a misogynist because his wife does most of the cooking, plus she works at a bakery. It seems a little rash to me, but what do I know? You're probably both technically right, but there's other issues at play. Yeah, okay, no, don't leave a comment unless you're going to be crazy, okay? Am I the asshole for snapping at my friend who keeps ditching me because I now have a child? Why would someone snap at you because you have a child? This is a fun one? All right, I'll take your word for it. Oh, no, sorry, I've got it backwards. The person with the child is snapping at their other friend who keeps ditching them. I can listen. We should just read the post. But my initial judgment is, I remember what life was like before I had a kid. If someone was like, "Hey, come to brunch with me," by the way, my 18-month-old's gonna be there, I'd be like, "No, that shit makes me uncomfortable. I don't know how to handle myself around babies because I have exclusively, since like age 10, only talked to people my age or older." Today, I saw her photos from Saturday night and I was fuming. My friend ditched me so she could go and drink like she's 20 again. I feel rejected and horrible. I thought we were best friends, but she clearly doesn't value me when she won't even have a few drinks at my house. For those of you just joining us, this is a woman with a young child. The child is 18 months old. She's mad at her best friend for ditching her, for not spending as much time with her since she's had the child. And the context is that the mom can't go anywhere because she has a child. So the friend will be like, "Hey, do you want to go get coffee?" And then she's like, "Sure, why don't you get coffee and bring it over to my house?" Every single time. But also, why does it matter if your friend who doesn't have a kid was out partying like she's in her 20s on the weekend? She doesn't have a kid. What do you want her to do? Come over to your place at 7:15 a.m. and watch, Bluey with you? Even though you're the same age, you got different stuff going on in your life. You got different priorities and responsibilities. Bluey, don't listen. Bluey, good show. Maybe this will be my most controversial take. Good show, overrated. Once a month, I'm going to keep beating the drum until I get some people on my side. It's not that Bluey is bad. It's that when people talk about Bluey, they're like, "I love Bluey. Me and my totally sane spouse sit down and watch an entire season after my baby falls asleep just because it's so entertaining, even for like a 35-year-old. Other shows like Sesame Street and Peppa Pig are full of bad examples. Peppa Pig she's jumping in muddy puddles. That's crazy. Every episode of Bluey is about how the dad got diagnosed as pre-diabetic by his doctor and he needs his family's help to get his blood sugar back in check. Every episode of Sesame Street is like, hey, we're introducing you to the concept of water with a bunch of songs that are like Broadway inspired. Shit drives me crazy. Peppa Pig does stay goated. I'm not saying it's even as good as Bluey, but it's just not. People that they think Bluey's here and like all other kids shows are like here. It's like fucking Bluey. And then like on the same level or maybe even a little bit higher is Sesame Street. I'm sorry to tell you. And then like Peppa Pig's probably like a little under Bluey. Sesame Street goes crazy. That's why Bluey has like 23 episodes a season. Sesame Street has like 8. They got celebrity guest stars. They write their own songs. They're building puppets every year. Bluey could never. Aren't there 4,000 episodes of Sesame Street? No, there's like, I don't know, there might be like 1,000, but this shit has been on the air for 53 seasons. It's been on the air since 1969. You know, Elmo didn't even exist until like 1986 or something like that. Like Elmo is like a late season addition. Okay, there are 4,000. Still. How many episodes of Bluey are there versus the fact that this shit's been on the air for 8 months? 141? Exactly. What's the episode to season ratio? That's what I'm trying to say. Anyway, it's not about good, more episodes equals worse show. How It's Made's got like 10,000 episodes. This shit is better than, I don't know. I was trying to think of a show that doesn't have a lot of episodes. What is any Netflix original post 2018? Because they get canceled after one season, regardless of how many people watch them. Anyway. When she finished work, she called and asked if I fancied going for a coffee to town, but I asked her to come over again. She said yes. Before she disconnected, I heard her mumble, like always. This really annoyed me. When she came over, I decided to be open about everything. And while not my proudest or most mature moment, I shouted at her that she's an awful friend right now, that she barely comes over. And if she doesn't want to spend time with me, then just say it and stop playing around. She said she's always been accommodating, but it's been 2 years and she doesn't want to spend time with me when there's always a kid, especially now that she has to watch her language because Mia likes to swear. I said that she knew I had a child and responsibilities, and she said that Tom could take care of Ciara once in a while so I could have time off. This felt really intrusive. I told her to mind her own business and not meddle in my marriage. I was really angry with her and kicked her out. She called me a selfish asshole on her way out. Normally, I would have expected her to call by now with apologies, but she hasn't done so, and I'm starting to wonder, was I the asshole or was she? Perhaps I was too harsh and should have been more careful with discussing it. Yeah, like, you're the asshole. Like, no disrespect. I don't know what else to say. Like, can't you have your husband look after the baby for a little bit, by the way, and then just go, you don't have to go to a bar and party until like 3 a.m., but you could have like 2 drinks and be like, oh, it feels like we're back in uni. And then like an hour later get really tired and take an Uber home. Like, I don't understand. It sounds like you're mostly just bored, which is completely understandable. And you want someone to, drink coffee with and shoot the breeze while you're also watching your kid. But like, it kind of sucks for the other person to constantly be expected to go over and hang out with a little toddler all the time. It's different, like, I think if you enjoy it, or if you're like a family member. Like if my mom was like, oh, I don't really want to come over because, your baby is sort of annoying, I would be like, what the hell? But if Corey was like, I don't really know if I would get along with a kid, I would be like, that's totally fair. I'm putting words in his mouth. He might be totally fine with it, but I probably wouldn't ask just because it feels weird. But your friend is an asshole for not having a kid at the exact same time. Because then you guys could have hung out all the time. If she had just gotten pregnant, like right when she found out that you were pregnant, you guys would have like a friendship that's unbreakable right now. So I guess she's kind of like the asshole in that situation. You're the asshole. She did not ditch you. She asked you to go out with your friends as she'd made plans. She's not drinking like she's 20. She's drinking like someone who doesn't have a child. P.S. She's right. Your partner can go look after your daughter once in a while and should try to bond with her. But you don't know. It's always the dads, man. There's literally like one sentence in the story that's like, by the way, I have a husband. His name is Tom. All the replies are like, Tom doesn't have a relationship with your child. When your child grows up, she's gonna never talk to him ever again. He's literally he's not even in the story. Tom works 14 hours a day in an asbestos mine. He's the union head. Fuck you, Tom. Can you look after Sierra for a night? I know you gotta wake up at 5:15 a.m. to go to your third shift or whatever, but I want to drink like I'm in my 20s. I'm not even sure if parents realize how much of the conversation when there's a kid around revolves around the kid. No, we know. We're not stupid. Probably smarter than you, quite frankly. Is Kaylee a big girl? Does Kaylee need to kiss her mama? Peekaboo, peekaboo. Yeah, so anyway, I was down at the bar and I was like, Jaeger bombs, fucking, and then I was like, oh, I shouldn't drink anymore. But then I drank some more and then I fucking threw up. It was crazy. I had a great time. Fuck you. Think you're so interesting? Every time I'm out for a walk, I see all you childless fuckers FaceTiming all the time. And then I said, and then she said, and I was like, why would you say something like that? Like, do you think that she would say something like that? Maybe I'm just being crazy. Shut the fuck up! You think you're so damn cool? And they were roommates. Do you need a snack? Where's Bear Bear? Did you lose Bear Bear? Do you need aunt, friend whose brain is turning to jelly, to help you find Bear Bear? Oh, Kaylee, it's okay. Mama will give you a kiss. It's unbearable. Then fucking who asked? Live on 5, user received 8,000 Reddit awards for this post for no reason whatsoever. You're not invited. You know what? No crudité for you. You don't get the sparkling water. You get the still water. And you know what? Not even out of the fridge, out of the damn kitchen sink. No glass. Cup your hands. You're the asshole. You're always expecting her to accommodate you because you have a child. She's been coming over to your house for a year because she understands your life has changed. You're putting on very little effort and assuming it's on her to maintain the friendship. Why? Because you're a mom? She didn't ditch you. You've been a bad friend. That is all true. See, that's the thing is like I'm on their side. It's just like the kid didn't even do anything. Everybody's like the mom's the asshole, but someone's like, ugh. People don't realize how annoying it is to hear baby talk when you're not a baby. Let me make up a whole fucking unhinged conversation about it. You're just looking at your phone 95% of the time anyway, even when adults are talking to you. Get over it. You know what? Don't flatter yourself. You're not coming over to my house. You're not invited, okay? Info. Why can't Tom take care of Sierra once in a while so you can have time off? Hey, don't be meddling in OP's marriage. Sarcasm tag. Yo, but no sarcasm tag. You don't know anything about their marriage. But we have a happy marriage. He babysits my kid while I cook him dinner. Sarcasm tag. It's literally, you source, you fucking made it up, you psycho. You're crazy. Was anyone else surprised she had a husband? I thought from most of the posts that she was a single mother. Honestly, she sounds like a single mom, and instead of dealing with the source of frustration, her partner, she expects everyone else to accommodate her? What are you talking about? It's true, source. I want it to be true. Just like maybe Tom is horrible, but like, can we at least wait for her to post like he's horrible before we say he's horrible? Sounds like the kind of guy to consider taking care of his kids babysitting, aka an absent father. He's literally not doing anything. Like, I don't mean he's not doing anything in the life of his child. I mean, literally, he's not even part of the story. I'm a parent, and I still can't stand when someone only has their kids to discuss. Same with the job. It gets boring fast. Okay, then, like, be bored. I got shit on the go. I don't know why it's... Like, I'm putting myself in the mom's shoes, which is crazy because I'm not on her side in this post at all. Okay, if my ass is boring, don't come over again. I got other shit going on that's, like, more important than entertaining an adult. Like, you should be able to handle that for yourself at this age. Sorry, you came over and I didn't learn, like, a new juggling routine for you. Like, I was just trying to have a conversation about the shit that's going on in my life, but I guess our friendship is completely predicated on me constantly having new and interesting things to say to you. I didn't realize there was, like, the level of, like, unconditional support is unreasonable to ask for. Instead, it should just be like, hey, so I fucking made up a story the other day. Look at this. Am I the asshole for saying no to my in-laws taking our kids to Disney? Disney what? You got to learn, people just say Disney now. Because it's not like a place, it's like a lifestyle. Because there's Disneyland, there's Disney World, but then there's also California Adventure, then there's also, there's the villas, and then there's the Grand Californian and the Mexican Riviera, and it's a whole, it's its own thing. There's cruises, maybe you've heard of them. Maybe you're wearing a shirt that you got on one right now. Perhaps. My wife and I have 2 daughters, 6 and 5 years old, which is prime Disney age. I'm not going to disagree with that, but I would say that in the eyes of the Disney Corporation, prime Disney age is approximately, I would say 3 till you die. In July, my father-in-law got diagnosed with prostate cancer. After a few rounds of chemo and some intense stays at the hospital, it's only gotten worse. It spread across other organs in his body, and rather than trying to suffer to fight it, he's opted just to not do chemo and to try to live with what time he has left. As a result, him and my mother-in-law have decided to make more memories with family. One of these memories was to take our daughters to Disney and surprise them with the trip yesterday during Christmas. All right. Here comes the pivot. At first, I thought my wife would be against it as well. We've always said we wanted to get to experience taking them and seeing their faces. However, I found out my mother-in-law cleared it with my wife last month. My wife didn't tell me because she thought I would be surprised and excited for our daughters. My wife assumed that I was a normal person. Unfortunately, I've been deluding her for our entire relationship up to this point. I sat through the rest of the night, but when we got home, we had a serious discussion about it. I told my wife I didn't want our daughter's first trip to Disney to be without us. She suggested we go along, but the trip is in February, and booking flights, hotel tickets just for my wife and I for the time they're all going is going to be almost $5,000. Are they staying in Walt Disney's penthouse? I told my wife that we have to talk to her parents and decline the trip, but my wife is saying I'm being selfish and heartless by robbing our daughters of this experience and robbing them of a core memory with my father-in-law before he passes. Am I being out of line here? Yes. Yes. Like, listen, idiot. So sorry. Not only are your kids going to have like a great vacation, you're going to have like a week of like no kids. That's like a decade's worth of childless adult living. You know, you could go golfing, You could go to bed at like you could go see a movie every night. You could go see all the movies you've missed out on the last decade. Check out The Big Short. It's a good one, okay? You could just nap. You could do whatever you want. And the only thing you miss out on is you aren't the person who takes them for the first time to Disney, which is fine because, like, with no disrespect to super into Disney adults, it's just like a place. It's not like you're not walking her down the aisle or something like that, and you're like, I'll get you on Marriage too. Like, it's literally just like a vacation. Like, who cares? Can't you could just get a photo of them when they're like at Disney and be like, that's what their faces looked like when they saw a real fake Mickey Mouse for the first time? You're the asshole. Your wife is right. I understand your disappointment in not being the first to take your kids to Disney. I don't. Different people can have different opinions and values, don't get me wrong. But I'm not even giving them this much credit. Like, what's the problem? If my parents are like, hey, we're going to take, is it cool if we take your daughter to Canada's Wonderland? I would be like, cool. You know, like, is there any way, can I help you? Can I give her some cash so she can pay for some meals or something like that? Like, this is, what a nice gesture. Canada's Wonderland isn't Disneyland? Yeah, but Disneyland isn't like a sacred place. It's just like, it's cool. It's a nice place to spend time, but it's not like, you know, it's not like a religious monument or something like that. It's just it's a vacation destination. I just can't understand being like, I mean, maybe this is putting it in the worst faith way possible, but like, I'm depriving my two kids of a vacation because I want to be the one who takes them on that vacation. And it's not like a stranger is taking them. It's like, it's their grandparents. Like, you're basically saying, like, sorry, girls, you can't go to Disney this year because, like, I have a weird attachment to the corporation. Like, I need to be the one who takes you. You can't go to Disney with everybody knows you can't go to Disney with your grandparents for the first time. Every 5 and 6 year old remembers every second of their first trip to Disney, and it has to be with your parents. Otherwise, it's just not the same thing. It's not weird to want to have memories with your kid. This is such like a insane take. What is weird is like, no, you don't get to make the memories until I make the memories. Like your grandparents, like your parents taking your kids to Disneyland is such a huge dub for all three generations. And you're just, you got a weird hang up that's leading you to throw like broken glass on the track. Anyway, you're the asshole. Your wife is right. I understand your disappointment in not being the first to take your kids to Disney. I listen, I know I got stung by the exact same line. After talking about it for 5 minutes, I don't. I still don't. These are special circumstances. If your father was not dying, it would be an insane request that they take them on vacation. Because he has a horrible terminal illness, we're going to make an exception. What are you talking about? He wants to create memories with his grandchildren that will last once he's gone. It's small-minded and selfish to take that opportunity away from him and your children just so you can be the first to have the experience with them. Do you think if you do this, your wife and daughter won't resent you? I mean, yes. Thank you. Sane comment, I think, though. It's Disney. They'll light up every time regardless of being the first trip. Yeah, they're kids. Of course. You think he's going to take his kids to Disneyland in like 4 years and they're going to be like, Mickey Mouse! And all he's going to be thinking about is like, I bet they were more excited by Mickey Mouse when my father-in-law took them. It's just not the same, kids. Oh, you really liked Lilo and Stitch's Hawaiian turkey leg last time you were here? I wanted to introduce you to Lilo and Stitch's pineapple braised Hawaiian turkey leg, but I guess that's okay that you have like all those good memories or whatever. Everybody sucks here. What? Probably unpopular opinion. Second highest comment. You are reacting poorly. I get this is a memory you want to be able to make with your children and for it to be a once-in-a-lifetime first. Your wife and in-laws should not have hid this from you. Yes, he has limited time. That is not a reason to cut you out of parenting decisions. I agree in principle, but I think that what's really the situation here is that they just expected you to be like a normal person and be like, whoa, have a fun time, girls. I mean, like, if you want Again, in principle, I agree. But, you know, if your kid is staying at her grandparents' house for 3 days, do they need to call you before breakfast and make sure, like, you know, it's okay to have oatmeal this morning and, like, eggs the next morning and, like, be careful, we might go, let me call you back. We're on the way to Denny's right now. We'll get, and then at lunch at the same time, you can take it to the extreme. It's not it's not like, hey, I'm going to, you know, give your kid, you know, like a beer and they're 6 years old. It's like, it's Disney. It's what it's made for. Okay, I'm going against the tide here, but I see an easy judgment. Your in-laws are not the asshole. They asked and were granted the opportunity. I can actually see your perspective. I would want there to be, it's just a simple rule of Reddit, by the way. The less line breaks you see, the more insane the comment is going to be. So this is why I went for this one right away. I would want to be there to experience my child's first trip to Disney too. However, you and your wife have exhibited poor judgment. She should not have agreed to this without your input. That is not acceptable. My only thought is she's too focused on making her father's last days joyful to consider all angles. What a bitch, dude. She's so selfish. How could you write that sentence with like a straight face and make no edits? It's crazy. She absolutely should not have agreed to this without your input. This is not acceptable. My only thought is, okay, yeah. You have been presented with a tough situation. Wrong, in my opinion. In my opinion, wrong. But are more focused, you have been presented with a tough situation, but are more focused on your own feelings than those of everyone involved. The problem is your in-laws and children are blameless in this. Okay, we're almost there. Your in-laws and children are blameless in this. That only leaves two people, and you know you're not wrong, so it must all be your wife's fault. Is that where we're going with this? It will go well for you. It will not go well for you to yank this opportunity out from under them. However, I would like to point out another issue. Have they really thought this through? There are two people of somewhat advanced age, one of whom has terminal cancer and is doing chemo, and they want to chase two insanely hyped up young children around Disney for however long. You and your wife really need to find a way to go because I don't see that ending well for them. Okay, thank you, doctor. Thank you for your comment that says nothing at all. I wonder if the person with cancer thought about that. I might just be like a random person on the internet with no expertise or whatever, but like, let me explain it to you, okay? When you're sick, you might not be able to catch up to a 4-year-old kid in Disneyland, okay? You're the asshole, come on, man, ... Even Joe Biden knows that this guy is the asshole. You're the asshole big time. You're the asshole. That grandparent has very limited time. You're the asshole. Unpopular opinion, not the asshole. Okay, well, I think we're kind of going around in circles here. Maybe it's my favorite, like, am I the asshole theme is just people who are just getting in their own way for no reason. The guy who started a 10-day long argument with his spouse over, like, he didn't want to eat chicken salad because he had been outside in the cold all day. Like, you just relax your life. Sit down, simmer, eat the chicken salad. She's going to be like, I got to go to the bathroom real quick. When she goes up to the bathroom, eat a granola bar. It's not a big deal. Get an electric blanket or something. These are all solvable problems. Let your dying father-in-law take your two kids to Disney World. Enjoy the photos that you get, you know, because this is a once-in-a-lifetime experience that they're going to make this memory together. Take your wife out for 2 date nights in 1 week. You may never get the opportunity again until, you know, your kids move out of the house. Sleep in for 30 minutes. It's probably been 8 years since you slept in for 60 seconds. You sleep in for 30 minutes, it's going to feel like you had a 14-hour sleep. You're going to work off like a decade of sleep debt in a single week. Just get out of your own way, man. It's not that hard. It's Disney. Bob Iger would throw your ass in a garbage disposal if it brought the Disney stock price up a 1/4 point. And you know what? He would be right to do it because that's the obligation the CEO has to the shareholders in this messed up system, okay? But he would do it in a heartbeat. He would say, thank you so much for treating Disneyland, our profit-generating theme park enterprise, with the reverence it deserves. Now get in the garbage disposal. I'll hit the button. You think Bob Iger would do the same for you? No shot, dude. Am I the asshole for telling my family they can't use Spanish on Christmas Day or my husband and I aren't coming? Probably. It'd be worse if your husband was doing it, that's for sure. Do we even have to read it? I like the crazy ones. I've been with my husband for 10 years. He took a few classes but found it too difficult and decided that he can't learn a language as it's his thing, just like math isn't his thing, and he dropped it. Okay, what's his thing? Because we got two things that are not his thing. What is his thing? I need to jump to his defense a little bit, okay? This will be our 9-year wedding anniversary in May. So I've been married to Kate for 9 years. Her family all speaks Korean. I don't speak Korean. Sometimes people are like, why don't you just learn Korean? Because I fucking don't want to. No disrespect. I got other shit going on. I got a job to do. I got a household to manage. I got like my own hobbies and stuff like that. It's not, if they could just like jack it into my brain and it would be there, I would sign on the dotted line. But it's like a big undertaking. So you know what happens? They at Chuseok and Seolnal and Christmas and whatever, everybody speaks Korean, and then my ass just like eats the food, and it's completely fine. It's not a problem in the slightest. They have conversations, I'm sure, about people that I am not even aware exist. Distant uncles and cousins and so on and so forth. And I just eat the yummy food and have a great time. Every once in a while, they want either Kate or maybe Kate's sister or brother-in-law. They'll translate for me and say, like, this is what we're talking about right now. And then I'll add like a comment or something like that. And then they'll go back to talking in Korean, and I just go back to eating the food. And there's like actually nothing wrong with it whatsoever. I never feel slighted. In fact, one time Kate and I went to her parents' house for Chuseok, which is like, it's Korean Thanksgiving, but it's also like, there's a religious significance to it. It's having to do with your, honoring your ancestors in particular, instead of just the food that you're eating. And while we were there, they set up the feast for the ancestors and stuff like that. And then we all sat down on the floor, and they handed me a Bible, and then her parents like sang hymns with us. But like, my ass is not religious and a bad singer, and their English is not very good. They clearly would have been happier to be singing it in Korean. So I just felt like actually I was an imposition. They should have just been singing it in Korean, and my ass would just be eating the food again. It was a nice gesture, but I actually felt like over-accommodated, which is fine, but also like no disrespect to the religious. The hymns don't follow the conventions of music that have been set out in 21st century pop and rock music. The syllables are all, you have to have heard the song, like, they're like, oh, the words are in the book. Yeah, but like the notes are not in the book. And then sometimes there's like a run-on sentence, and sometimes there's like they drop a syllable on a word. And sometimes you're like, you say over the mountain, you look like an asshole because everybody knows it's o'er the mountain. Every valley shall be frickin' exalted, and the hills laid bare. So you can't just give them the book and then be like, just follow along. I've been to church. I've been to weddings. A few funerals. I got baptized, which is crazy. I never got confirmed, which is crazy because if they had just, like, I don't remember my baptism, but they should have just gone through with the confirmation, because then my ass will be snacking. I get that I could, and nobody's like asking for your ID when you go up to take the sacrament, but it just doesn't feel right. Like, if, it feels like too much of an edgelord thing to do for me to like walk up and be like, just kidding, Father. The stolen sacrament. Like, I don't think that it's going to create, a problem for me in the afterlife or whatever. I'm just more like, it just seems disrespectful. Anyway, I forgot what I was talking about. Did I even read this whole? That didn't even come close. I'm just saying, to me, it's the same energy when people are like, oh, if my spouse's family spoke a different language, I would simply learn the language. Yeah, sure. And if you lost your hair, you'd be jacked with like a 6% body fat. If your ass could do it, you'd be doing it already. I don't know what language it is. Oh, what if I pick the wrong language and I accidentally just happen to learn a useful language, but it's not the right one? Then I'd feel stupid. Yeah, listen to yourself. I said, do you speak my language? She just smiled and gave me a Vegemite sandwich. And she said, you come from a land down under. Ooh, yeah. Anyway, also the other thing is, because I lived in Korea, I know enough to at least laugh when it's time to laugh. 실례합니다. Burger King 어디에요 주세요? Burger King. Dude, I know, I recognize that word. I can't. Burger King, I can't. What's a vampire's favorite drink? Kopi. I can't. Because kopi is Korean for coffee, but kopi is also two words. Ko is nose and pi is blood. Nose blood. What's a vampire's favorite beverage? Nose blood. Oh, man. Anyway, I can't. The kids I was teaching used to go crazy for that one. Teacher, do the vampire joke again. Anyway. Every family gathering, he feels left out. Okay, well, there's your problem, idiot. You should look forward to being left out. You can think about your own stuff. You could, look at your phone now and then. It's no big deal. He feels left out because everyone switches back and forth and he doesn't understand them. I have to translate for him and it must be really uncomfortable for him. This year he said he's not coming. He feels excluded. What is wrong with you? It's okay. Different people speak different languages. If you're not going to learn you can't have it both ways. You can't be like, I'm not going to learn the language, but also I'm going to be mad that they're speaking that language. You might think about it this way, okay? They're one generation up. They're speaking Spanish, okay? You're like, I don't want to learn Spanish. Please talk in English. You don't know. You might have 3 kids. They might marry people from 3 different parts of the world. I would just get used to not being able to understand what everyone's saying. It frees you from the chains of the social contract. Your ass could just be watching TV. They all speak English. It's true, but at the same time, I think like if one person that's not bilingual comes and then is like, hey, can you guys just like completely... You're supposed to be relaxing, right? It's the holidays. Can you completely change the way that you speak naturally when you're relaxed just to accommodate me? My ass would be like, no. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy too, because you probably weren't talking about his ass to begin with, but he was like, hey, can you guys speak English? Next time they speak Spanish, they're definitely talking about his ass. 100%. And it's not going to be flattering. This year, he said he's not coming. He feels excluded. Even when he talks with non-Mexican spouses, they mix and match languages, and he feels like it's to mock him because there's no need to. Who even are you? What do you mean that you just feel like you're being condescended to when somebody speaks a different language? You're not the main character. It's okay. You think they're like, whoa, check this out. Never seen this one before. Someone who doesn't speak Spanish. Crazy. Can you get a load of this guy? Anytime I'm saying anything not in English, it must be they're shit-talking me for not speaking Spanish. And I'm kind of like, I don't know if this makes me less based or more based, but I'm in the same situation in the sense that, like, I don't know what is being said at a lot of these dinners. I know my role. I say hello, nice to see you again, handshakes and hugs. I pretend to follow the conversation for a while, then get lost in my own head, and then I reach for the bill when it comes. And it's just normal. It's not weird at all. I think, here's the thing. It would be insane if I talked to my wife and was like, hey, your parents need to speak English when I'm around. It's disrespectful. That shit is crazy. I would never have the stones to do it. And I have too much of a brain to ask for sure. Then secondarily, if Kate's parents were like, he needs to learn Korean, I would be like, fuck that. Like, why? We're getting along just fine. Like, nobody makes demands of other people. We go out to dinner, we communicate on the common ground that we can find, and then we get in our separate vehicles and we go back to our own homes. It's completely okay. Yeah, how about we both learn Farsi? Let's compromise. I speak Korean very poorly. My English is fantastic. Your Korean's amazing. I'm sure your English isn't that good. Let's learn Farsi together. That could be a good bonding experience. It's a little King Solomon, but let's all learn a third language together so we're suffering equally. I don't even need, like, I'm trying to telepathically express to this guy that, like, it's just normal. Like, it's not weird to not speak. Like, in life, I hope that you're blessed enough to travel to places where not everybody is going to be speaking the language that you know, especially if you only know one language. Like, you should travel and be in, like, another country and get used to the idea that, you know, when you're out at a restaurant, you can't understand what's happening around you at all times. You can't kibitz on every conversation, you know. Instead, you have to make conversation with your spouse. So it's not weird. The fact that he thinks it's a solution that needs to be rectified and without any effort on his own part is the crazy part to me. Because the way I see it is like there's a couple of other options, or a couple of options here. One option is like learn Spanish. And if that's not possible, the other option is just shut the hell up. Yeah, we're teaching our daughter how to speak Korean. Like, it's slow going. Because here's the thing. People also say, like, if I had a kid and, like, I was bilingual, I would teach them both languages. Well, yeah, but, like, sometimes you got other shit on the go. Sometimes you're just like, eat your damn grilled cheese. Yeah, no, I mean, I say I don't speak Korean, but I speak enough Korean to teach a little bit to, like, you know, like a 2-year-old. I'll say, like, honey, that's grandma on the phone. Can you say, 안녕하세요, 할머니? 안녕하세요, 할머니. And when I'm at when I'm at North Road Plaza, Corey will back me up on this one. When I'm at North Road Plaza, it's like being back in Daegu. I'm walking into convenience stores, they're saying 안녕하세요, I'm saying 안녕하세요. No matter what they say, if I don't understand what they're saying, I just go, 네, 네, 네. And then they present me with a bill, I tap my card, and then they say, 안녕히 계세요, I say, 안녕히 계세요. And then I walk out the door. 감사합니다. I know enough Korean to get around, at least. That's all you need to know how to do in Korea. I worked with a woman in Korea. We were both ESL teachers. 1 year living there, she never learned how to say thank you. It blew my mind. At that point, it's like a willful ignorance. Like, I can understand not making an effort to learn the language, but to not even know thank you when everybody says it to you 4 times every time you go to a store is just crazy. She was not American. She is Canadian. No! Him being upset people dare speak a language he can't and feeling mocked also isn't anyone's problem but his own. Everyone, the asshole, ETA with this getting attention, I want to say there are some edit to add. With this getting attention, I want to say I know some people simply can't learn languages, and that's not their fault. But to me, it seems like the husband is not trying at all instead of trying hard and failing. Listen, Mothman NFT, you're like right for the wrong reasons. Why should he have to learn the language? I know that this sounds like I'm coming at this from like the worst faith take possible. But like, why should he have to learn, even if he only spoke Spanish? Let's start there. And it was Texas. I still don't think he should necessarily have to learn English just because his spouse's family speaks English. If you were to flip the languages, I still think that he's living his life. If he's able to live his life and the only consequence of being monolingual is like 3 times a year he doesn't know what people are saying at dinner, big deal. That's like learning a language is a huge endeavor. There's nothing like And maybe it hits me a little closer because people are always like, well, you've like been married for 9 years. You don't know how to speak Korean? No, and I don't think I'm going to learn. It's like that shit is not easy. That doesn't mean it's not worth doing. I got I got other shit on the go. You had 9 years and still haven't participated? They've had 9 years. They're still not participating. We're both not participating. It's not a cold war. It's like a cold peace. We're all having a great time. I'm sure if they wanted to better their English, they would be bettering their English, but they're busy. I would love to have better Korean, but I've got other shit on the go. Like we're living our lives. You're the asshole. 10 years, he hasn't learned enough Spanish to even get by. That's on his shoulders. Bro, life's complicated, okay? Listen, they're going after the right guy, but for the wrong reasons. Just because you're married to someone, you don't have to speak the language that their parents speak. That was not anywhere in the agreement to begin with. Okay, but 10 years? Listen. You know right now that you should exercise more. You know you should eat right. You know you should learn how to cook. You've had 10 years to figure it out. Why are you not doing it right now? It's different for me. It's different for me. It's different for me. If my spouse's parents were both professional personal trainers, I would make an effort. Okay, you probably would. And maybe you'd stick with it. But statistically speaking, probably I'll catch you in the same chair 10 years later, looking roughly the same, maybe a little worse. Just that's how things do with the passage of time. Also, as you get older, at least if you're roughly around my age, the older you get, the busier you get. So if you weren't gonna knock that shit out when you were 21, tick-tock, motherfucker, your window's getting even shorter. Because you're gonna have way more shit on the go in 10 years than you do right now. I don't think there's any reason he should feel like he has to learn Spanish. What he should do is just not listen. If they're talking about him, they're not go. Are you stupid? Are they going to talk about you in front of your face in Spanish? That would be so uncomfortable. Hey, Daryl's here. Let's save up all the shit that we've been storing and just unleash it in his face while he's sitting there. Wouldn't that be funny? These people are not evil. They'll talk about you after you leave. They'll be like, I can't believe this motherfucker hasn't learned Spanish yet. Yeah, knowing his wife is sitting right there and at any moment could be like, what the hell did you just say about my husband? They'll wait till you leave and talk smack about you. In English, maybe. Like, just go, eat the food, watch the TV. Cheers. How's the job? How's the house coming along? Get in your car, go home. That's it. It's the holidays. Just relax. But I think the fact that they're losing the forest through the trees. He shouldn't have to learn how to speak Spanish. It's not a moral failing that he doesn't know how to speak Spanish. It's a moral failing that he thinks absolutely everybody should be speaking English around him at all times so he doesn't feel left out. That's the character flaw. You're the asshole. 10 years. Sorry, I read this one. Seriously, 10 years and the most Spanish he probably knows is nacho cheese chalupa, por favor. Bro, he's literally like, what is wrong with people? He literally did not say that. He might be in incredible shape. It's so fucked up. I think I was behind him at Taco Bell. Ordered a quesadilla, extra mild sauce, please. So true, so true. I was there and OP knew how to say quesadilla. That's how I know they're cultured. They like their Mexican cheese sandwiches to be pronounced authentically at the Taco Bell. Mild sauce would be too hot for him. I thought that, when he said extra mild sauce, I don't think a lot of people picked up on the joke. I really appreciate you spelling it out in a more obvious way. Ketchup is too spicy for this dude. Okay, we're going back for thirds. Salt's definitely pushing it. Fourth, put some pepper in his meal. I bet he'd cry. Dude literally made like one mistake, and it's the vultures are just circling around him. I always thought people who say they suck at math tend to say they're good at something else like English or languages. What is he good at then? You're both the asshole. What if I told you that there are more things on earth than just math and language? There's a few more. Hey, for example, like how do you think like all the walls in your fucking house and the roof and the pipes, all the plumbing, all the wires, how do you think that shit came together? The roads, all the infrastructure you rely on every single day. That's math? Well, at one level. But like, it's also a lot of hot shirtless guys just hanging drywall all day. That's not math. That's blood, sweat, and tears. And maybe a Budweiser in your lunchbox. At first, I read that to say he's a math person, but he isn't great at English or the humanities or language. But if he sucks at math and he sucks at language skills, then what the fuck could he possibly be good at? Maybe he's good at fucking your mom. It's another skill we haven't talked about here. I bet he could talk your ear off about the intricacies of the Civil War, just that war, but he's an ace at that for sure. Okay, because he hasn't learned Spanish, now he's flying a Confederate flag everywhere. Or he's a historian with a very narrow level of narrow area of expertise, and then we're insulting historians for some reason. I don't really understand. Whining and complaining. He's good at whining and complaining. He's got a true talent for that. He also seems to be good at finding a wife that is good at catering to his whims. I can't see how he wouldn't have accidentally learned enough Spanish to get by after 10 years just by being around them. What are you talking about? These motherfuckers will watch The 13th Warrior and be like, that's how that shit works. Are you crazy? In the movie, this reminds me of the movie The 13th Warrior, where Antonio Banderas gets kidnapped by Norsemen, and just from being a prisoner of war in 1 year, he picks up the Norse language. That shit was written by Uwe Boll, man. Right? I've been with my mostly Spanish-speaking boyfriend over a year, and even though I don't speak it very well at all, I can at least understand enough to get by and answer sí or no. You don't speak it, you liar! I've been with him for a year. I don't really speak Spanish, but I know yes and no. That's nothing! You're the asshole. I am a white man who married into a Mexican family. I find that ultimatum disgusting. Well, I think that's true. I don't speak Spanish. I don't expect the rest of the family to only speak in English. He's just like me. He's me for real. Your husband needs to stop whining. Either he puts more effort into learn the language or he deals with not being able to understand everything. It's not their problem that he has a problem. I told you, finally, there's other normal guys out there like me. And it's even better because he doesn't speak Spanish. He's probably bald, too. It's probably my alt account. You can also find him posting an r/northernlion saying, actually, today's stream was really good and NL wasn't really mad. Stop writing comments that say he's really mad. He was just putting on a character for a bit. And it did not make the vibes weird. It made the vibes better. I went back and watched the stream again because the vibes were so good. Anyway, I don't know. It's crazy people were... I mean, you could dunk on the guy, but they just make... Like, he already is, like, showing, like, half of his ass. And they're like... Imagine if he showed his whole ass. Just from this one data point, I know everything about your husband who didn't even give his side of the story. Queso chalupa, por favor. Fuck you. He could use a translator app, spend some time on a language app and learn phrases. Let's not delude ourselves into thinking this guy's going to get himself to fluency by doing 15 minutes of Duolingo a day, okay? That's a bill of sale that they are trying to peddle on you. That being said, I've thought about, like, what if I used a translator app at dinner? And I honestly think that shit would be annoying as hell if I was on the other end of it. I'm telling a story that doesn't involve... the person that doesn't speak the language, and I hold on. Uncle Jiwan went to Hanam yesterday, and you won't believe what happened. Okay, proceed. They were out of Napa cabbage and only had green cabbage. Continue? That would be so annoying. Well, anyway. I think we're all on the same page here. I did read a comment. I was laughing. So it was people, 22-year-olds talking about whether or not we're going to enter a recession in 2023. And they said, here's how you know if your job is recession-proof. If you disappeared and everybody who does your job disappeared instantly overnight, how long would it take society to crumble? If it's less than 1 week, your job is recession-proof. And I had the realization that if my career, myself and everybody that does it, disappeared overnight, society would mildly but markedly improve in all likelihood. So I don't think that I'm in that camp. If all influencers disappeared overnight, I'm not saying it would be a utopia, but I do think that the world would probably be a little bit of a better place. Not by like a lot. It wouldn't solve all the problems. But if you did like an A/B test and we're like, which one of these pictures is more idyllic, you would be like B for sure. Yeah, not me. I'm one of the good ones. But like all the other influencers, for sure. I could be like the last one to disappear, maybe. If all entertainers disappeared, it'd be kind of messed up. You're like probably right, but I don't understand why. Like, I guess it would be really bad for California's economy. Wouldn't we just like entertain ourselves by like hitting rocks together or something pretty soon after? We're mixing it up. I'm going to do a little movie to movie right now before we pivot because I don't know what I'm pivoting to. Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace to Dodgeball, a True Underdog Story. In all likelihood, I am thinking that there is possibly a movie that Ewan McGregor was in with Ben Stiller or Vince Vaughn. Let's just run it through. Who we got here? Liam Neeson. Realistically, we got Liam Neeson, Natalie Portman, and Ewan McGregor. Who we got in Dodgeball? It's a rogues gallery of comedians. Vince Vaughn, Ben Stiller, Christine Taylor, Justin Long, Rip Torn, Alan Tudyk, who's also done a lot of voice work, let's recall. Stephen Root from Office Space is another one. Okay. I'm just deciding where I'm going with this one, okay? And I think I'm going to start. I want to find myself in the mid-2000s. So I'm going to start with Ewan McGregor. And I'm going to scroll down. Let's see what he was in around this period. I have never seen Nanny McPhee in The Big Bang. Hold on. Angels and Demons. That's going to be Tom Hanks. I Love You, Philip Morris. That's Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey, Ben Stiller, possibly been in a movie together. Live 8. That seems like cheating to me. The Island. Scarlett Johansson. Scarlett Johansson to Ben Stiller or Vince Vaughn. I'm not getting there, but I am going, okay, hold on. Scarlett Johansson to Ghost World to Steve Buscemi to Billy Madison with Ben Stiller. The Island, Scarlett Johansson, Ghost World, Buscemi, Billy Madison, Ben Stiller, Adam Sandler, Happy Gilmore, Ben Stiller. This is too many steps. We did find a path, though. Dodgeball. Total distance of 5. That's a little high. Come on, Natalie Portman, Zoolander. What? Natalie Portman's in Zoolander? She plays herself in Zoolander? Steve Buscemi's in The Island? I didn't know that. I've never seen it. Oh, Anchorman 2 is like... That's like... When everybody starts using Anchorman 2 as like the nexus, that's when we've wordled movie to movie. That's when like, oh, I always start with favor because it has the highest incident of 5. Just fucking ball. Just freestyle a little bit. Have some fun with it. You don't need to min-max all the fun out of it, immediately. That being said, mostly I'm just upset I didn't remember it. Okay, let's try actoral. You may remember we got actoral immediately on Friday. What the heck is going on? Rib knit beanie from Holzweiler? Does this site always have ads? Turn up brim and pull on style? Excuse me, can you get Adobe Pro out of here? Best ways to invest in gold. My 2 cents, I know is crazy. Buy it, forehead. I'm upset. I'm upset with this right now. You know what it is? I need to get on my pro account. There we go. Now I'm signed in on pro. Okay. I'm looking at IMDb scores. I'm looking for anything too high. I'm looking for anything too low. They've been in movies as recently as last year. They got a 7. That's pretty good. And I'm looking for strange titles. Like 3 letters is probably the. Could this be Goodbye Fries? Goodbye Fries. The Girl in the Dragon Tattoo. The 2010 crime drama history, comedy romance, drama romance. They've been in a lot of romances. Been in a lot of romances. A family fantasy romance. Action, adventure, comedy, science fiction, western. I have no clue. History musical. Family fantasy music. Comedy romance from 1995. And they've been in movies as recently as last year. I have absolutely no idea. I'm stunned. I would say that this is Julia Roberts. Is wrong. They are older than Julia Roberts, and they've never been in a movie together. Okay, that's a bad start. They are one of the only actors to not be in the Kenneth Branagh movie, A Death on the Nile. And that seems crazy to me. A Midsummer's Night's Dream. Fantasy comedy romance, A Midsummer's Night's Dream. Who the heck was in 1999 A Midsummer's Night's Dream? Ian McKellen. It can't be. Some British actor. Was Patrick Stewart in that? No, they are younger than 82. Who was in A Midsummer's Night's Dream? Kenneth Branagh. He does all the Shakespeare ones. They are older than 62. The Road to El Dorado? And Wild Wild West? Oh. Wait a minute. Okay. Well, it's not Will Smith. Because we don't see, like, Hancock. We don't see The Men's in Black. Salma Hayek was in The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard, which would be around here, but I don't see it. Kevin Kline. Kevin Kline could be in A Midsummer's Night's Dream. It is Kevin Kline. How about that? Most famous for a lot of movies I've not seen, but also A Fish Called Wanda, which is really good. I didn't know he was still working. Because I haven't seen the Bob's Burgers movie. My mistake. Well, you know what I'm realizing here looking at this? I have seen Beauty and the Beast, but I think he probably just plays a voice. Um, I have not seen a Kevin Kline movie since Wild Wild West. And then prior to Wild Wild West, um, I've only seen A Fish Called Wanda. I'm not that familiar with the Kevin Kline filmography. I hear Dave is amazing. I've always heard good things about Dave. I've heard Sophie's Choice is incredible. No, I've never seen The Hunchback of Notre Dame. What was crazy is on the Disney cruise, we saw, some of the shows that they do. The same dude they had playing Quasimodo, they also had him playing an ugly guy in another production. And I'm like, he's just a normal looking guy. How attractive do you have to be attractive enough to be hired to be an actor in a Disney production, but still a little ugly, so they cast you as the ugly guy? You still got to be pretty hot, right? I don't know, ask Josh Gad. Don't make me insult Josh Gad, okay? Josh Gad. Bro, come on. I got nothing against Josh Gad. I was thinking more of a situation where, like, you got Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson in the same movie. And, like, Owen Wilson's the hot one, and Vince Vaughn's, like, melted ice cream. Wasn't thinking necessarily about Josh Gad. Anyway, let's play some golf. Oh, my God. Lois? You ever going to play Mario Golf? Excuse me, people say I don't play story-based games. I beat Mario Golf. I got a little... Nintendo always does this thing with their sports games lately that I don't like. Where they're like, we're making Mario Golf. A game where you can golf with Mario characters. And I'm like, let's go! And then you actually boot it up, and they're like, well, we couldn't just release normal golf. That would be too easy. So instead, we made the story puzzle golf and speed golf. It doesn't... You could be 5 strokes back of the leader, but if you finished 3 seconds earlier, you win. And I'm like, that's not golf, Shigeru. Please watch Apollo's stream. It's a rough watch. Dude, Apollo's a stronger man than I. I would never assemble IKEA furniture on stream. I already get tilted assembling it in private. And then, like, if my wife was watching, I would get even more tilted. If chat was watching and telling me what to do, I would have a straight up aneurysm. Amazing stream idea, though. Can you imagine the back seating? Me, when I check what screw I'm supposed to use 9 times, and then as soon as I screw it in, I look at chat, and there's 5,000 people going, wrong screw, wrong screw. And I'm like, really? Then I unscrew it, and then I look at it and compare it again, and it's actually the right screw, and I'm like, ah! I would lose it for sure. I would be so upset. But then if it was the wrong screw, I would be like, oh, thank you. If you could not get a ticket for anything, how would your driving change? It wouldn't change that much, but I would definitely stop paying for street parking. That's for damn sure. I would not change my speed. I drive at whatever speed seems like safe and comfortable. Just usually like, you guys cool? You know cops here, right? It's usually like 10% faster than the speed limit, okay? It depends. Sometimes it's 20% faster. Sometimes it's a little slower. It depends on the traffic and the weather and visibility and am I familiar with the area? Is it a school zone? Is someone behind me in a Dodge Ram 1500 that's gonna like kill me if I touch the brakes? That was not me farting. That was my chair clippers. That one was me farting. Okay. Sorry. I farted. This is a very tough start. Backspin would help. What? What happened to my resin, dude?
Nice shot.
Hole in one? Hole in one? Bro, that was like my exact first shot, except the power was off. That would have been so good. I don't think my ass is making the semis, but I hate my life. Wow! That was an amazing shot. You guys see Blumhouse replied to my tweet where I said it's the Meganisaunce? And they said, it's never gonna stop. Smiling imp emoji. Who is Blumhouse? I thought they were I thought they made skateboards. That's Birdhouse. Wait, but then what's the one on Netflix? Bird Box? Is that made by Blumhouse? I don't understand. Bro, what's messed up? Blumhouse is replying to me. I can't get Sam Yo to even give me a heart on my tweet. Say, Happy New Year, Sam. No replies? I mean, I don't need a reply, I guess, but I mean, it'd be nice. When are you entering your Twitter blue arc? Hopefully never. I guess never say never, but hopefully never. There's probably like a few people in chat who have Twitter blue, and that's fine. Maybe I'm not talking about you, okay? But I don't think it makes sense to pay $8 a month for it to begin with. But then the other horrible advertisement for it is like everybody, whenever I see like a horrendous take on Twitter, there's like a 75% chance they got the Twitter blue check mark. It's actually become like whenever I see an insane take and it's the blue check mark with the blue badge with the white check mark, I'm like, okay, this is like a journalist who's never left Manhattan, and that's fine. Now, whenever I see the blue badge with the black check mark, I'm like, here comes some pure insanity. It's not gonna make it. So true. Wow! Nice eagle. I put so much more hip into that than I should have. I felt as soon as I let it go, I was like, that's too much. It's okay. Take my birdie. Should keep us in the running at least. I mean, if you par this hole, you might as well put your switch in the dishwasher. No offense, Weldsman. I didn't know that you were about to par. I assumed that was probably for eagle. It's just what it's like in A29. A28 maybe. This chair is creaking like a son of a gun. First place just screwed up their putt for par. I'm not farting. It's my chair. If I farted, you would know. My farts reek. That'd be a pretty good day for me. If I farted and not everybody threw up. Okay, so this is an example of when your mental has broken down. This person was in first place. I believe they screwed up their putt for par, and now they've just given up. It gives them the illusion of going out on their own terms when actually they were beaten by the competition and then themselves afterwards. He could just be having fun. Yep, looks fun. Limit reached. I think you could probably have put that on the screen about a minute ago and it would have been true. Do not put in the newspaper that I got mad. See, dude, as long as he could have easily qualified. Well, actually, no. Once he missed par, he was fucked. Maybe he did the right thing.
Nice shot.
Chopped it a little. Bad. I touched the green, the fringe, the fairway, and the rough in the same shot. No, it's not Rational Reminder. They only talk about stocks. That's why it's a great podcast, but it's not that entertaining. I'm sorry. It's probably the best podcast for actual like economic data and stuff, but they stick to the topic at hand. One Piece me. Too much. One Piece me. Too much. That's good. Told you. Not bad. Still a little rinsed. I mean, I should have been on the green. But I'll take it. Holy cow, what a putt. Oh, even if the gods are crazy, even if the stars are blind, if you show me real love, baby, I'll show you mine. What a putt. What's wrong with my drive? I mean, I'm not saying I never messed up a shot before, but my drive was like, you could hang your hat on it. Suddenly, everything has changed. Ooh, you've heard of Betwixt? If you love Betwixt, you'll love Bethunder. Oh, beneath. That makes way more sense. Ooh, okay. Could have used a little more juice, but not too bad. None wind. Slight lilt. None backspin, but the hill's a little spooky. What a chip. I want to be at like a 1.9. Pretty good. Straight on the first bounce. Ooh. Two Stoned Wolf. You know I support your legal cannabis use, but if you've made that your name with those characters, you're smoking too much weed. I'm sorry. You don't need to, I'm not saying you have to smoke less. I'm just saying you are smoking too much. So judgy? I'm not judging. I'm assessing. I just want a three-piece. What is this? What? The practice was nearly perfect, like 3 times in a row that I did the exact motions. Did you think this is funny, Nintendo? It's like a 2-piece nun backspin. Slightly like a 1.8 with nun backspin. No. Like a 1.6 with nun backspin. Oh. In many ways, that's more impressive than getting it in the hole. My horny ass could not work at a golf course. So true. My horny ass could not work at a Dick's Sporting Goods. What? I don't know. I was just saying things. Just saying what popped into my head. What's the horniest sport? They gotta fuck after mixed martial arts, right? You're dripping on each other. You're getting up close and personal. You're stretching out each other's tendons and muscles and stuff like that. You're choking each other out. You're breathing in each other's faces. It's gotta be mixed martial arts. You're breathing in the chemicals, exactly. Every single fighter is my enemy. Whatever, just send it. It's a cruel game we play. You gotta wonder what kind of crazy person would wait till a Saturday, set their alarm clock for 5:45, go take a shower, put on their nicest polo shirt, tuck it into some slacks, put on cleats, drive their Mercedes coupe down to the golf course and say, excuse me, 7:15 a.m. tea time, and then line up with their friends like this for 4 hours, and then, here's the kicker, same time next Saturday, you gotta be a little nuts to golf, okay? You gotta be a little crazy. Anyway, that was not a good performance today, but you know what? I had fun. Hey, here's the thing. We already did movie to movie today. We took a little bit of an insane path. But we got there, I think we got there in 5. It's not great, but it's not too bad. Pay me out? Oh, yeah. Sorry, I'll pay you out. Chib, honest question. I don't know if you're still here. Maybe you had other stuff to do. But this is a genuine question. When you're done playing Switch Sports, do you immediately put your Joy-Cons back onto the console so they charge? Or do you just leave them on your desk so that like the next time you want to play Switch Sports, you pick them up and it's like low battery? I'm judging. Onto the console. Good man. Good man. Okay, Kate's live. I'm going to send you over there. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and I will see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Good night, and good luck.
Are you reeling in the years? Sucking away the time? Are you changing your gears? Have you had enough of diddly 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 diddly? You guys like Steely Dan?